This will probably probably be one of my last car ones, car videos I make for a while. Um, the way I was raised, um, not having a father figure set me back big time. Um, I don't want to bash on my parents. I'm not trying to bash on my parents. I'm just using my experience as an example of what not to do. I think in the past and nowadays, kids are coddled, and they're not even kids; they're grown adults. If you're over 18, you're an adult. But there's this mentality nowadays, and I've heard it, where kids need to take a year off and figure out what they want to do. Well, in order for a kid who just turned 18 to take a year off of school, of everything, and try to find themselves, hey, that's cool, you know. But you have bills to pay, so if you have the luxury to do that, you rely on somebody else. But you know, that's what high school was for, to try to figure out who you are, where you're going in life, try new things out. Like that's what kids are supposed to do when they're younger. You know, when you turn 18, now the responsibilities come upon you. And what parents do is they enable their kids, so they do everything for them. They pay all their bills, they do everything. And that just sets their kids back and prevents them from like growing up and taking responsibility for themselves. Like responsibility, like I'm not gonna lie, it sucks, man. But if you don't take responsibility for yourself, you can end up in complete hell. The way there's, you know, I'm a single father. I've raised my kids mostly by myself. When they were younger, their mom was around, but when they got to be older, I had them mostly myself. So, a big thing I think the youth needs nowadays is responsibility. They need to come out here, they need to work, and they need to work hard. Right now, me and my son are doing like the Aaron Clarey, his advice. And his advice is, you know, if you're gonna go to college, go for something worthwhile, not for some. You don't go to college and try to figure yourself out. College is a serious thing. College is something not to be taken for granted. It's very expensive. You can come out with a ton of debt. But if you don't know what you're going to do, or like you don't have any resources, it's best to get out there and just start working your butt off. Right now, I have set me and my son up, especially my son. He is set up and he has a shit ton to lose. Now I know it sounds weird, like, yeah, he's working with me, and it's just a regular job. You know, I want better for him, but I know that this experience right now is something that he can take and hold with them for the rest of his life. Not only being able to have that experience of working with me, and that's what kids used to do, is they used to work with their parents. And that's why kids used to, like, They did it at a young age, so they usually end up taking over like the family business or whatever. Well, that's completely disconnected nowadays. This experience that my son is getting right now. He just turned 18 and he's got this adult job, lots of responsibilities. It's very physically demanding, very boring mentally, but he's making good money. And if he's smart with his money, doesn't spend it a bunch of dumb, stupid shit, and saves it, and I'm having him pay like bills, like he's gonna be paying for his own groceries. You know, I provide basic, you know, like soap and general stuff for where we live, but you know, he wants the extras, he wants the snacks, he wants all this and that. Well, he's gonna be paying for it, and that helps me out a lot too, so I don't have to pay as much for food, so I can actually maybe pay some of my debt off, instead of having to pay all my resources going to just survive. That's how I've always done it for the longest time. Maybe I can actually start thriving, but he's thriving big time, and every time he goes to work, he's just like making tons of money. And that's what kids should be doing when they're young, is and he knows what he wants to go for, but when you don't have a pot to piss in, you gotta build it up. And what kids are being taught is like, I can see that a lot's is coming at him, because I have sheltered him through his teen years, but he's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good, accepting it, working through it, and he's doing pretty good at work. So like, he doesn't have to even get a car. Me and him are like, this is such a great position for us both. We're at the same exact schedule, so he doesn't have to worry about transportation, getting back and forth to work. And it's just like, it probably is going to get to the point where he actually looks forward going to work, because he's making so much money. A lot of the youth, you know, he doesn't have to live on his own. He doesn't have to have a car. Like, this stuff is expensive as fuck, man. Living on your own and then having to have a car. And I wish I didn't have to have a car, man. It's so fucking expensive. It's so much work. It's so much worry. And you need a fucking car if you are an independent person. Nowadays, everything's so far away. So he's in such a great position right now where he doesn't have to live on his own, and he can just go to work, he makes good fucking money for an 18-year-old. Other 18-year-olds are probably working like they're flipping burgers or some shit, or working at Walmart making like $14 an hour. Well, he's making like over 18, man. He's making like, he's making good fucking money. And the key, and him having this experience doing this hard labor, it gives him the incentive to better himself, so he doesn't ever have to do this shit again. A lot of people at my work, what ends up happening is they kind of get trapped, and it happened to me. I end up having kids, and I needed a real job, not fast food or anything like that. I needed something like stable, provided me insurance and provided me a check. And yeah, it's my job is great if you're just going to try to survive, but if you want to thrive, my job isn't where it's at. A lot of people end up like having kids, and they kind of get stuck in my job, and then they get comfortable. And I've told them, don't get comfortable. Keep trying to better yourself. You don't want to get stuck doing my job, because like financially, you're never really going to excel. But right now, he is in the perfect position to excel because he doesn't have to worry about paying rent. He doesn't have to worry about paying for a car. Now he's going to eventually, but he can just like work right now and save so fucking much money. But at the end of the day, the kid has to work. So like this model, like going out there working instead of going to fucking college. Like you can go to college when you're 80. There's why is there this push to get these kids to go to college when they don't even know what the fuck? Dude, we don't even know what jobs are gonna be there in fucking 5 years, man. So like this push to like get everyone to go to college is just so fucking asinine, man. It's so fucked up, dude. You know, he's already like I don't want to go into his financial, but like I'm just saying, like I'm just for an example, like he's already got more money than like half of Americans. Half of Americans couldn't even come up with $400 in emergency, something like that, or it's like $1,000, one of those two. Half of America.